You know what I mean? Like, so within the topic of sobering up is being more honest to ourselves, first of all. Like, hey, I am finally going to tell myself the truth that whenever I'm go to work and I'm like around these people and I do this job, I'm just miserable. Or my, you know, this person that I've been hanging out with, and they only talk about themselves all the time, and they don't let me get in word and edgewise, is really depleting me. You tell yourself the truth. I'm not saying you go and blab this to the, you know, outwardly, but it's first an inside thing, this awareness, an inner awareness, what nourishes you and what depletes you. Okay? I'm not saying we're going to end up being big babies and we just, you know, like I quit my job, I quit everything, and I'm just going to be, you know, because we have to also live this life. But it's just like there are ways to to become more truthful and maybe change some things. Sure. Who here already knows this for yourself, that truth actually, the more you become more honest, and truth on the human level is similar to spiritual level. It's a similar avenue. Who here has already had to make adjustments in their lives? Raise your hand. Wow, looks like almost everybody. That's good. It's not fun all the time, right? It's not fun. But that's a sobering up. You know, when you sober up, things dry up. You know, so you can have one stream going into the ocean, not a bunch of little rivulets that are wasting energy. Yeah. Little sideline rivulets where you're being tapped out. You know, the feeling of like, you know, financially losing money, you know, through these different things that one is maybe wasting money at, right? You know how that is, you know, when you become more sober about your finances. You're like, I'm not gonna, maybe I don't need Hulu and Netflix. No. Even if my kids say so. I'm, you know, this is such a silly little thing, but you know how, you know, like that you become more responsible. Well, we become more responsible to our own energy needs and our own what is important to us. And these kind of relationships that maybe need to dry up is what I'm saying, certain ones, you know, so you can be more in integrity, inner integrity to yourself. It really, really takes you a long way, by the way, to truth. You know, it's like, why would the human truth lead to truth, capital T? Well, that's what capital T is asking. Because if you're in distraction and leaking energy and you're not being in inner integrity, you're not able to be, the energy is not focused one pointedly within. And you need your energy focused as much as possible. We do life, we have to, but focused as much as possible as an energy center in order to be able to be like this beacon for presence to really live here. Otherwise, it's masked, it's covered, it's veiled. Does that make sense? That's why they are one and one and the same. So don't fool yourself into believing that by being out of integrity doesn't have an impact, because it does. And of course, I'm not talking about being unkind to people and being cutting off relationships and being cruel, but just well, sometimes it hurts when relationships end. That's just the way it is. But you do it in the best way possible. You don't continue something just because. we're afraid of hurting somebody. I have to be truthful here. You know, you've heard Adya Shanti say, and it's not just Adya, because I'm sure it's just been around, speak the truth and let the chips fall where they may. And it's not like this violent act of let the chips fall where they may. It's more like you speak the truth in the most loving way possible to yourself, to others. And what it means about letting the chips fall where they may, it means don't be so codependent that you're like attached to what someone does with the chips that fall. Let people deal with their own chips, because that's, first of all, you're robbing them of their own response if you're over codependently like, oh, I'm so sorry about the chips that are falling. What can I do? But the truth is you need to be, I can't do this anymore. I can't live this way anymore. I can't be spoken to in this way anymore. I can't deny my reality, my truth. And that, when the chips fall where they may, meaning they land, life as them have a chance to reorganize. And why would you want to mess with that? That's like being in other people's business, as Byron Katie says. Stay in your business. Let God, take care of their business. So let God as them go, wow, they don't like being spoken this way. They don't want to be playing this kind of game with me anymore, this relationship game, whatever it is, or the job. They have to then, they get a chance to have some evolution there. So, be responsible to yourself in a loving way and find a way, find your way to being honest. So then you're not like leaking all this energy out, and you start to the tide can come and focus and surround your desire body, your desire for truth, your desire to live in integrity, your desire for wisdom. It's not always a popular time, but it's an honest thing, and it's freeing. What it is, it's freeing you, it's freeing others. And that's what truth is asking for, is for you to be honest. And the more you are, the more you get. The more truthful you are, the more truth you get. It's really a fact. But also, one self is in a process of learning. We think we're being truthful, but there's more to learn. Always more. And that doesn't mean we don't ever compromise ourselves a bit. For the ones we love and we want to spend time with, and there's some people that it's not a perfect, of course, relationship, and yet they're important to us, right? And those are our very special human relations that we still are trying to be as honest as possible and find our way, and at the same time be willing to be lenient and giving to, their learning curve. We're all in a learning curve too. Okay, so I'm not saying don't be so uncompromising that you end up with nobody in your life. Not at all. Okay, so the ones that are super important, but those are the ones where maybe communication can grow, and a way of communicating honestly can develop. And you keep trying.